Ooh, look at this, guys. Something we haven't seen in how long? I bet you guys thought the series was dead, and for a time it kind of was. But I would always try to sprinkle it in every poll, and through the polls and the comments, people still want the series to be alive, so you ask, you receive. Go make the rise and downfall of Griffin already. I'm also running out of history videos and really want a mental refresh before I mentally lose it. Kyoshin is one of those heroes that has plenty of helmets that are really unique enough to each other to really put a stereotype on almost all of them and their variants. Now obviously not every helmet is going to be covered, so if yours isn't, then your stereotype is you're unique enough to not be stereotyped. Nevertheless, if you like what you're watching, subbing is free, helps me out. Let's get right into it. Every Kyoshin starts out with this helmet, but one thing always stays the same. These guys just do not know how to play the game whatsoever. Most likely someone they knew had a lot of hours on For Honor and wanted to join them, so they were told to play Kyoshin to make the game easier to learn. It's a shame with all the stuff Kyoshin has, all they seem to ever want to do is light spam hoping that undodgeable light connects, which probably did the first time, but after that, he's been door dashing the Team Revenge in every fight.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
No, but really, this thing screams I had one scavenger crate left and I spent it on a Kyoshin and this is what I got. I don't think anyone willingly wears this helmet if they don't have to. This is probably Kyoshin's only good low rep helmet, and I say good very sparingly. Not because it's a good helmet, but the other options are so atrocious that this feels like the only choice you can use. These guys are your massive anime fanboys who bought all the dumb anime executions, but physically cannot get them off because they're getting guard broken out of their full block stance because they have no idea how to properly use it. Then they go online, ask for Kyoshin buffs on For Honor Rants Reddit. These guys are honestly really chill because they're one of two people. Either A, you're using the variant of this helmet and giving him a stupid hair color to purposely meme, or you're cosplaying Tozen, which I have mad respect for. The only other thing you'd ever want added to Kyoshin is Tozen's actual helmet from the campaign to complete your cosplay, and maybe the shadow clones he used as a feat, but some ideas are better left alone. These guys are actually pretty good at Kyoshin despite their reps being at the highest of 6. They understand Kyoshin pretty well, his strengths, his weaknesses, when to actually use full block and when to crush and counter. But the only problem with these guys have is that they're a little too crush and counter happy. Most of the time they see a heavy attack and then they have this undying urge to try and crush and counter it, and yeah, this normally happens. There is nothing more you've ever wanted in life than to make your Kyoshin look as stupid as fucking possible. And what's more stupid than a whole basket on your head? You're mostly pairing this with some really shitty no quality gear chest piece to look like some homeless person, and you mostly pair with this with some really goofy ass universal executions, just to really drive down the silliness factor. Here's where we get to the real meat and bones of Kyoshin helmets and probably the hardest stereotype ever. These guys are the most toxic out of all Kyoshins, especially the Funade Kyoshins. These guys will spend their entire team fight literally sitting in full block, contributing absolutely nothing to the team fight, and for some reason after you die, your left side of the screen is filled with thanks, and you haven't done anything to them yet. Normally these guys will never be caught dead without a teammate beside them, but if you do catch them, it is probably the easiest kill of your life because they don't know how to do anything else other than full block and then rage quit the game after.
I can't take this shit no more, man.
Ugh, God, these guys. Look, these guys aren't bad at the game or toxic, but it's just the way they carry themselves. You can describe these Kyoshins in 2 words. Femboys. Or is that 1 word? No, but seriously, all this helmet is let me go spend 10k steel and pink armor material and make him look like a woman. Which begs the question, why did For Honor not make female Kyoshins? I mean, didn't they exist in the trailer? Overall, these guys aren't bad, but I feel like he's got really cool armor, just don't do this. These guys actually really tried their hardest to make their Kyoshin look as cool as possible, mostly going for some fully armored look to them. They hold themselves higher than other Kyoshin mains who just full block in other team fights, and mostly that statement is true. but they will drop into full guard eventually, making fights extremely boring and lackluster. Normally, if you're going to be ganked by one of these guys, the gank's gonna last around 2 minutes, and the entire time you're probably wondering, where the fuck is my team? And where is my revenge? These guys are your old school Shigoki mains because they fell in love with the horns on the old Shigoki helmets, so this is the closest thing they could get to recreating their Shigoki. These guys are your bash spammers. They love anything orange, so starting bash, in-chain bash, full block unblockable, feint to guard break are the only things these guys normally know how to do. There is a chance they decide to go for the indodgeable, but they don't like how slow it is, so they feint it into a bash. They definitely made a post on For Honor Fashion saying that their fashion is bare none to other Kyoshins, but let's be real, you look like fucking Pinhead Pierre. If you get that reference, you had a great childhood. And that's all the creativity I can really think of. I know you're probably saying, what about this whole helmet and variants that you forgot? I mean, the helmet's kind of boring. At least it doesn't have anything distinct about it. The only thing I can really say is that if you're wearing this, you look like you're wearing a COVID mask. I think after every history video, I'm going to now just sprinkle in a little bit of these quick helmet stereotypes just to keep the spacing of videos a little fresher. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a great day. Let me jump on it. Or it's leaving, actually. Crazy. Ladies first. You motherfucker.
I had to once, right? Like, it's your comeuppance. You deserve it.
Shit.